All right. What is welcome, Spoiler Kings. How you guys doing?
Happy Juneteenth. I've been
Yeah.
celebrating all day, so it's been a very cool holiday for me. I'm glad I was able to enjoy it and barbecue and spend time with my kids and just do things like that. So it was a very cool thing. So yeah, for me it was a very good day.
That's cool.
Wish I could say the same. I was made to work at the last minute on June.
I work too.
That's good. That's. I'm happy. I'm happy you had a great day though. That's great. I came home after work. I was like just dead exhausted and just fell face first onto bed. Woke up, ate, read some comics, and here I am.
I work every day, unfortunately, because I can't get away with it from it because,
of course,
I'm the boss.
Yeah,
There's
always something going on.
No matter what happens, I have to do it. So, But what's up, guys? How's everyone in the chat too? This is cool.
Yeah. I saw everyone talking, hanging out and stuff, which is awesome. Also, shout out to Collector.
4 months
going off his 4 months membership. Appreciate that from Collector.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Let's see. We got a Collector coming in saying finished watching Jurassic Park by the time the live stream starts.
Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah,
they
were having conversations the entire time. I was sitting here looking at it, reading it.
Yeah. Talking about the Supergirl name being changed. Yeah, which
we saw.
It makes sense too. Like especially if it's the first movie. Like just let it be just that, and then as sequels start happening, you can start to like add subtitles and stuff. Yeah,
I kind of liked Supergirl, Girl of Tomorrow, or Woman of Tomorrow. I don't know, it had a nice ring to it, but as long as the movie's awesome, but that storyline it very much can be.
Well, I think they're going to change a few things in the storyline too. Like, though everything is done, they're changing a little
that's inevitable
for the focus. So that's just why they're changing the title of it too.
Yeah,
that's inevitable. Yeah.
I mean, because that's very much a standalone story, and you need to have the character be in a universe where there's other characters. So yeah, you got to do that stuff, which is fine.
I mean, they're changing things as it goes along. So, I mean, if they're changing Superman 5 weeks until you'll be released, then of course they're going to change Supergirl. I mean, it just, to make it work. And why not start now? If you got to do some reshoots, you do some reshoots. Especially if Superman ends up being this, the numbers are coming down. But I still think we're going to be hitting $750 million, right? So if it's going to be that, we're going to be good. So if you guys make some changes. Who cares?
Yeah. I did see the numbers come down, but they're still good. They're still like really good numbers, like really, really good numbers. So
we're probably not get $1 billion, right? We all knew that.
Yeah,
it's no surprise. Whatever.
Yeah. This needs to be like a mind-blowingly amazing movie for it to hit $1 billion. Not saying it can't, but I don't.
I believe if Fantastic Four and Superman switches places, Superman had a better chance.
Yeah, agreed.
It's just the way you have right before Jurassic, which we're about to get, the Jurassic World, and then you only have 2 weeks of the main theaters before Fantastic Four kicks you out of your main theaters. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, do you play that game of chicken, with Marvel and like change the date? It's too late to change it now.
You can't do it now.
Like
everything,
but before, months ago, maybe a year ago, do you kind of like, all right, are you going to change? You're not going to change? Are you going to change? And then like last second, you kind of come in and come out.
I almost wonder if if you thought you had the better movie, would it be better to be going against Fantastic Four the same weekend?
Ooh, that'd be really interesting.
Like James
Head to head.
Gonna go head to head. We have the better movie, no matter what. We have the better character. Fantastic Four is great, but when you talk about Superman, there's no greater character than Superman, right? And then even if you're dealing with Marvel, the only character you even want going against Superman will be Spider-Man. So like, would it be smart to say, hey, we're here to stay, and we're going to come after you guys right now? I wonder if that would have been interesting.
Yeah. It would have been interesting to see, because it would have been the new studio versus the
old guard,
the old one
that's going down. Can you imagine you immediately attack it and say, hey, we're the new guard, we're the ones going to change this thing? I think it would be interesting.
Yeah, that would have been really interesting, especially going against like two old comic book characters. Superman, super old, obviously, like the first, and then
Fantastic Four has come out since the 60s. No,
probably
58, 59.
I would say the 50s, probably, right?
50s.
I think it's like 58. Is that maybe what it is? Is it earlier than that?
Let me see.
I don't have a comic that's
1961.
Yeah, I don't have a comic that's that old. Like my earliest comic book that from Fantastic Four is like 64. So I don't know. It's 1961. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, with the character that we have on I believe on the comic book, that we see in the new trailer for. What was it? It was a TV spot, I think. For what was it? It was a promo of something, but it's with the what's the beast called?
The big kaiju looking thing.
The thing coming out of the ground.
It's
I forgot what it's called.
I the moment.
I know exactly what you're talking
Goblin, but it's not like Goblin.
Exactly
It's something. But that monster is on the first issue.
It's like a troll.
Yeah,
it's the green one. The first Fantastic Four, because I've seen it so many times. Because I've seen it in the Mickey Mouse variant. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, I have my wires all out of whack.
You're talking about the Superman one.
Stuck on Superman.
Yeah, Giganto shows up in this newest,
which is like awesome that they're taking that from that they're taking that out of the iconic cover from back in the day. So that'll be really cool to see.
If I remember the first one, wasn't it Mole Man? Wasn't the main character? Not
Mole Man was the villain that they kicked off with.
Yeah, that's the first.
I think Giganto
villain.
Was like controlled by Mole Man or something like that.
I think it was.
I remember.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. So that's gonna be cool to see. So I'm gonna skip around a lot because a lot of you guys are just kind of talking to each other, which is cool. Fernando's in the house.
What up, Fernando?
You got Ace in the house.
Tell you guys, happy Juneteenth, man. Me and my family were all over the place. My sister came over. My dad was over.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like to say, forgot to update his letterbox. Yeah,
I actually
it happens.
I'm 2 weeks behind. I'm
I'm about the same. I'm probably further behind than that.
I think I'm updated. I think I'm like at 26 or so. I think I'm at 26 or so.
I've seen 2 movies. I think that.
Yeah,
2 movies that I haven't updated
yet. Yeah. Also, we have a new feature on our YouTube channel is communities. So like, you can see our posts, so we could post something. A lot of we did the vampire tournament not too long ago. Other things, like I think today we put out the Happy Juneteenth kind of thing, and then so now you guys, as the viewers, you can post that wall. So it's basically like a wall. So we try to keep it relevant to movies, TV, and stuff like that. I would love to see a bunch of you guys like drop your letterboxes.
That would be interesting. I would love to be able to follow everybody.
Hey, letterbox drop, and then everyone in the comments just drop your letterbox link. So because our 3 links are down below in the description, but I would like to see all you guys, like somebody start one and then just start a big thread of letterbox ones. That'd be cool. But yeah.
Have you guys heard about what's been going on? We might have a Secret Wars 2. There's a mystery Marvel movie that they just kind of released, and it might be a second part to Secret Wars.
I heard that. I heard
that. I've heard Xmen. I've heard Fantastic Four sequel. I've heard a bunch of different.
I heard Black Panther
3 or was this Doctor Strange? But yeah, this mystery movie has popped out of nowhere. So could they be just going all Avengers?
I think my money's on Black Panther or Doctor Strange. That's where my money's at.
Don't you want to end this phase before you bring Black Panther?
Don't I want to finish the phase?
In this phase? Yeah, finish in the phase before you bring Black Panther in because it should be a phase 6. He should be then with the new Xmen thing. So wouldn't you want that to be what's going on? I mean, it's weird because we get the Damson Idris things, which we will touch on in a second, but it just seems like something's going on for 2028. This 4th mystery movie in 2028 just got released, and the time period that is looking at could be another Avengers. Secret Wars Part 2. Maybe they don't finish it.
Yeah. Is this the one in December 2028?
So I think,
or is it the one November? Because I know they moved some things around, and they have one like coming out like November and December or something.
December 15th, I believe it is. So the reason why December 15th is so interesting is because they moved back, Doomsday and Secret Wars, right, to December during like the 17th and 18th, whatever. December 17th and 18th. So now this new movie is coming up December 15th.
I heard that's Xmen. That's the rumor I heard, because I heard they got the guy who directed Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Jake Schreier.
Yeah, which I like what he did with Thunderbolts. Getting a team together so like he knows how to handle a group. So I'll be cool with that. But because that'll be right after
1 year past what's going on Secret Wars. So either they have a second part to it, or I mean, you could go Black Panther. You could go. I would love a Shang-Chi too, because then it's not even about X-Men. It's about let's finish this Avengers part of it with Shang-Chi. I would love to see that personally.
I'm with that.
Yeah. I can see that.
I don't know. That's an interesting question that Maria asked about Juneteenth.
I'm all like way behind. I'm kind of going through some of the older stuff. I see. Maria said, "Can someone explain to me what Juneteenth? What is Juneteenth? I've heard it, but I've never knew what it was."
It's the date that the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. So it's actually the day that slaves were actually free. And the idea is always that we're not all free unless we're all free. We're not free unless we're all free. And that was the thing. Juneteenth is actually the actual date. I think it was June 19th, 1865. So that works. That's the date the Emancipation Proclamation was actually signed. And that was really Independence Day, because that's the last time that everyone was free. So that was kind of why it became a national holiday, and people are actually understanding what it really is. It's a big day overall, and it's great that people are actually asking about it, because the worst part is to not ask and not be able to tell what this holiday is. Just making it a holiday and saying, oh, it's a national holiday without telling anything about it, have nothing behind it, is a mistake. So I like that opportunity to be able to talk about what it is.
Yeah. And the craziest thing that I read today was it is the first national holiday that is banned in 14 states to actually teach about. That's
does that
effing
not make
insane,
sense?
Man. That is effing.
I mean, look, Florida, you can't even talk about slavery. You can't teach anything in school. You can't.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I believe whatever it was 14 states won't allow you, like, their public education system to teach about Juneteenth.
I wonder which states. I bet you I can name at least half.
I didn't look up which ones, but yeah, there's a good chance you could probably guess most of them. Yeah, but yeah, I thought that was crazy. I was like, yeah. And then also Danny coming in, also giving a explanation. So it's the official date of the end of slavery in the United States. Yeah, 6/19/1865.
Okay, I got the list of states.
Oh,
wow. We're really close to one of them.
I figured it's either Indiana or Tennessee.
Definitely
or
Indiana.
Tennessee. Indiana.
So I'll go with dates. Arizona.
Okay, that's a surprise.
Arkansas.
Not really, Blue.
No. Florida. Duh.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
That's okay.
All right. Indiana. Mississippi. Duh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Montana. New Hampshire.
Okay. That's surprising.
Yeah, New Hampshire is really crazy. North Dakota.
Okay. Yeah.
Not South Dakota, but only North Dakota. Wisconsin. Told you about those Green Bay Packers, man. Wyoming. And West Virginia.
West Virginia.
No,
I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, it's not really that surprising. Wisconsin is a little surprising, but it's there's a lot of issues politically with Wisconsin, whether on either side that you're on. So, yeah.
No, I mean, because it is. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, at least recognize Juneteenth, understand it, let people know what it is, and then that's it. I'm not asking you this to be the biggest thing for you, but to understand they exist. The worst thing about for me is in history is when you try to erase history or rewrite.
Yeah,
I think that's the worst thing you could ever do. So that's just for me. Talk about what it is, because if you pretend like nothing happened or things don't exist, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Just ended all this conversation with Happy Juneteenth. I'm glad that we were able to talk about what it is. I'm glad, it's weird. It's crazy that we have that many states that don't even celebrate it, but I'm glad that we're here and we're able to talk about it and celebrate it.
Yeah, I know Ace brought this one up. I didn't even know this one. There's no MLK Day in Arizona either.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that want to get rid of that holiday altogether. This world, and this is why you wonder why I only focus on movies and comic books and stuff, because the real world, I don't need the real world. Hence, to bring this all forward around it, I don't need a Star Wars that's about the real world, because the real world sucks. That's why I don't need it. Right there. Sure, give me lightsabers.
Yeah.
Give me the Force. I don't need the real world, because the real world sucks.
Yeah, I live the real world.
Exactly.
I don't need to be told
every day.
Yeah, don't need to be told about it. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I mean, especially like as if you're one of those states, maybe you don't know about Juneteenth. So
especially if you weren't taught in school, how
Mhm.
would you know? How would you know about the Emancipation Proclamation? You know, I mean, people didn't know about any of the stuff that what was it? The TV show,
the Tulsa Massacre
also, yeah,
from Watchmen.
never heard of the Tulsa Massacre.
Yeah,
which is
I mean,
crazy to me.
I know, like finding out like how broad, how crazy it was, like that people were like, "Was this real?" And they're like, "Yeah,
how do you not
real
know?"
life."
But if you never got taught in school, how would you expect someone to know?
Yeah, it's hidden. It's I won't say hidden. It's buried. I think it's there. So unless you have, I had a history teacher that taught a lot of that stuff, in American history. So because a lot of American history teachers do all the fun stuff, all the cool, the interesting stuff, but there's a lot of like what everyone learns about the cotton gin, but it's like, hey man, there's a reason why the dude made it, you know what I mean? So it's like it wasn't like he was just had a good idea. It was like,
Dude.
So,
and so when you talk about the Tulsa, you can either Tulsa race massacre or whatever you want to call it, but the fact that people don't even know exist tells you the problem with the history and how you can rewrite it. And you ask them, how do people rewrite history? That's how. Who are these people that are in our ancient history? We act like we know, but do we really know? Because history is still written by the victors or the people that don't want certain things. You only get to know what you want. You only know.
Pull the veil down on what they want you to see and what they don't want you to.
Yep.
And then sugarcoat stuff like sugarcoat or lighten the blow on things as severe as slavery and that sort of thing, or only tell you little minimal parts of it and then give you a happily ever after. Oh,
and now we're good. We're okay now.
We're okay now. Such bullshit.
Or people that me and Tank were talking about this yesterday. They don't know about the internment camps, for Asian Americans.
World War II. Yeah.
No one, they don't even know about it. So it's just you are it, or even all the wars that happened with Mexico and how we took land, like what wasn't Mexico was not America. So like no one even knows about these things. We don't even teach what the Alamo is anymore. We don't teach about any of these wars. We don't teach about anything. And you know why? Because in America, you don't talk about your sins. You just talk about your greatness. And that's always, I feel like, it's a mistake because you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
I make a mistake. I make a mistake. That's what
that means. Our history is corrupt.
No, what gave it away?
I don't know if our history is corrupt. The corruption is the people that are trying to hide it.
Pretending it doesn't happen, I think, is more corrupt. You know what I mean? Because every country in the world has a lot of issues that America had, as well. It's just America's the new one, and the big one. So it's more prominent with stuff like that. But
look at Egypt. You guys, I don't know if my dad went to
thousands
Egypt.
of years.
So what they've done now is they have now allowed you to go. You can't go into the Great Pyramids, right? And it's because they say, because we're trying to hold on to history and we don't want anything to happen to it. But no, the truth is they want you to not see hieroglyphics. You don't want to see the people that they're talking about, so they can rewrite who they are. That's what you do. This is what Ethiopia, what's happening in Egypt, what's happening in all these places. Because if you don't know and you didn't see with your own eyes, and someone tells you that's not what it was, you gotta believe it. You have nothing behind you to know anything.
Yeah, it starts to get lost and stuff. Yeah, you can look up like the one that I found out like much later was Central Park in New York. The big beautiful Central Park was like a very well, not wealthy, but I wouldn't say wealthy, but very positive, Black community, with property owners and everything like that, all of Central Park. And they're like, hey, we need I forget why they did it. I think it was like just they wanted to insert like a park. So they decided to get rid of that.
You don't have to go that far.
Black community. Yeah.
You don't have to go that far. You don't have to go all the way to New York. You can go to Chicago.
Yeah.
And how they've taken Chicago. So I know for a fact. So my family owned property from 35th and Federal all the way to the lake. And the city of Chicago came and took that property and gave us land in Kankakee. So they're like, oh well, it was I think 9.5 acres. So they gave us 9.5 acres in Kankakee, in the poorest part of Kankakee. And this is within my great grandfather's lifetime. Like, it was my great grandfather who I knew. This happened then. This is not ancient history, but once again, it doesn't get talked about because people don't want to really know about it. They want to erase all those things.
Pretty much.
I don't want to make it all to this, but being Juneteenth, I feel like it deserves to have that conversation. And let's hit up Deuce's super chat.
Yeah, saw that. Deuce with super chat said Black Wall Street was my eye opener. And what up, y'all? Game 7 coming next.
Oh man, I can't believe it's Game 7. It's so stupid. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But Black Wall Street. I have multiple shirts that talk about it. People are like, are you afraid to wear it? Like, no. Why would I be afraid to wear something that was the most positive thing? After the Emancipation Proclamation, there was 10 years of unbelievable prosperity for all the Black people during this time. And Black Wall Street was huge. This was a big thing, and no one knows about it. How much money was in that area? That's why they had to make these new laws. That's why they had to go and break these things up. It's just facts. There's a lot of history that people don't know about because we don't talk about it. Yeah, because we're so afraid.
Gerrymandering, like that's all because of very very popular and wealthy Black neighborhoods. So yeah, like you said, they went in there, broke it up. Redlining was super huge.
Think about if you know how you worked your land all this time, right? And all of a sudden you have the land, what you can do with that land, right? And then you're all together and everyone's prospering and you can actually keep all the money that you actually were having. And that's when they had to change it up. That's why they had to do, sharecropping. This is why we had, the Jim Crow. I mean, this is just things that are really there, but no one wants to talk about. These are things that really exist. So I don't know. I just, these are things I wish that we were more open to talking about and not necessarily ashamed of, because I believe, once again, if you don't talk about it, you're doomed to repeat it. No matter what, understand what you made, mistakes we were made, and then talk about it, and then don't do it again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but into all this talk with Happy Juneteenth, guys.
Yeah. It was a good day I saw was Ace, saying something. I have to explain to my 14-year-old daughter all the time. History isn't as long as you might think. Your grandmother is 80 years old. The Nazis were around, and she was born. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
World War II was not that long ago.
Yeah.
My great grandmother was born in 1908.
Yeah.
That was 1908 was 60 years before Black people had voting rights. My great grandmother, who helped raise me, this is a real touch. You could touch that person, and everyone wants to pretend like it was that long ago. It's crazy, man. Craziness. Fernando says, I learned my Black history from KRS-One. There were worse places to learn it, man. KRS-One is a great wordsmith and definitely put a lot of knowledge out there. So I don't handle that. I ain't handle it.
Should be written down for everyone to know. Yeah, but that's also another thing that is not just American, thing to like get rid of the history. I mean, you go through just world history, and that's what they do. They erase, books. The Nazis did it before the Nazis. I mean, you go all the way back to Alexander the Great did it. It's like you're like, I don't like this group for whatever reason, and then you go in and you just like erase any writings, any knowledge, any way to pass down, any kind of information. So, so that's why it's like it's not specifically, it's bad on America, even though like America makes it seem like you're like,
we're
not the bad guys.
It's pretty bad for America. Think about what you've done to every Native American group.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
like, so how many people that I talk to in my daily talk that don't believe the Native Americans still exist?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What?
Crazy.
What? But once again, if you don't teach it in school, where does that knowledge go? Where do these kids? What do you expect these kids to know?
Mm-hmm.
How do they learn if you don't teach it?
Yeah.
Literally, I had someone in high school, and these are multiple that didn't know Native Americans still exist. But you understand, some of these people in Chicago, some of these kids in Chicago never leave their neighborhood in Chicago. So if you don't tell them, they will never know. Just like you go certain neighborhoods and where they're all white, have no idea what a black person is really like. No idea. Only thing you see is what's depicted on TV, what's depicted in the movies, because you don't have a book to talk about it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that are like that have no clue.
Yeah, which is like one really, really good thing of having the internet, and having cell phones and having things, live stream and being able to communicate across the world, let alone like across the country, across the world. Information is passed, and a lot of these countries, they try to block it. They do everything in their power to, and a lot of countries, we think it's just like, oh, China's doing it. Nah, we do it. Like everyone does it. People get around it, because they want to know. So, I mean, obviously the internet, there's a lot of bad shit on the internet too. I'm not saying it's like anything like the greatest place ever, but it is something like,
at least you have information that's available if you're able to see for it, search for it. I mean, but that's the importance of books, guys. That's why we can't get rid of books and only rely on the internet. I need books to still exist, because you get rid of all the knowledge. What did you do in Kush? Alexander the Great went and burned all the books, took all the good things that they have, and then pretend like he made things happen. This is the stuff that, throughout history, this is what happens. Yeah, the people that are dictators, the people that are the winners, who are the most abrasive, and the ones who don't care about everything, they just want to make themselves look good. They erase it. They burn all the libraries, because if there's no one to have that knowledge, and you kill all the people, you can write whatever the hell you want. Yep,
you replace it with your narrative.
Oh man, that's crazy. And that why do I hold on? If you see my bookshelves, why do I have so many books? I don't care. It's not just about comic books, but just about life and stuff. Narratives, different people's narratives. You need to have that. Yeah. How many people know in Oklahoma City that you have a card that could tell you your where you could trace back your relatives? So like if you are a chucked out Indian, or Indians had slaves, right? So I talk to Darius all the time, playing Fanatics, and we're talking about like he in Oklahoma City, it's common knowledge that Black people have that. Black people can go and get their card, and they can trace their heritage all the way back. You will know exactly where you're from. But people don't even know about that. It's crazy. What up, Dre?
What's up, Dre Mac? Super chat.
So
appreciate the support.
I could get on my soapbox. We all know that. But there's things that just should be, and you need to be aware of it and acknowledge it. So yeah, once again, happy Juneteenth. I'm glad we can have this conversation. I think it's important to put that type of information out there, and for me to, whatever I know, I was taught from my parents, through my uncles. We talk about these things because we don't want to hide it. Because you don't want to be. I have a family tree that dates all the way back to the original person who was brought down here.
Oh wow.
From, on my dad's side, they're in St. Louis. In New Orleans. On my mom's side is Mississippi. Have my mom family tree is Cherokee because they bought slaves. Like we have this and we put it together because if you don't have it, you lose it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'll get off my soapbox.
No, it's like especially today of all days, it's like it's like it's very super important, it's super important, books in general. Like my wife is, or girlfriend, whatever, is a librarian, so she's big into like banned books. We got a sign in front of the house that says read banned books. So like like you should be reading a lot of these ones that are quote unquote banned, because you should see how life was, how people thought with things,
knowledge should never be taken away, and too many times it is, and you don't believe it's even happening. I'm in America, that doesn't happen here because we're free, and then you realize there's laws that ban things all the time. Parents don't want their kids to know about certain things. Some parents don't want their kids to know about certain things. Why do that? They don't want to talk about slavery. My kid is too young to know about it. Why? Do you tell your kid we can do something bad? You scold them and say, don't do that again. Well, then you should know about these things.
Yeah. Whenever I hear like somebody say like that, because I heard that before, from work, people and stuff like that, and just other people on the internet, where like, oh, they're too young to learn about that. I was like, but Emmett Till wasn't too young to be killed, like for living that life before being a black boy. Is like, nah, like if you can kill somebody that young, then you should be able to educate somebody that young.
They need to know. It's in my family. Being a young black man, we sit all of our young black men down. You need to know where things have come from. You need to know how to deal with the police. You need to know how to respect what's going on. You need to know that people see you always as a problem. I'm talking about so much. People don't know about Emmett Till, that this is not just a story. This is actually something that happened recently. It's not like 100 years ago. No, it's not like that.
The lady that accused him just died. Like a few years ago. She just died. You know what I mean? It was like, that wasn't like it wasn't hundreds of years ago. It was like, oh man, but you watch exactly. But you watch movies like Life and think that black people were thrown in prison, and that was so long ago. No, laws were made to do those things. These are facts. But it takes someone to actually go out there and look for it and search for it now. Because they hide it. You no longer have things coming in school. You don't know these things because no one wants to teach it anymore. And if they do teach it, parent groups come up and say you can't teach it. It's crazy. For facts? Bro. It's just history.
Oh man, so much. But the world is not great. Things are the way they are, and just acknowledge it, know it, hold on to thought, hold on to knowledge, continue to write things down. Go through your family tree, write things down. Talk to your great grandparents before they go. Talk to your grandparents, see all their knowledge. hold on to that. That's your true culture, guys. That's your true culture, and that's why it's important to do it. We all come from something. It's important to be able to research it and not just be afraid of it, afraid of talking about it. There's good and bad in everything. That's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that Brandon looks comfortable.
I think Brandon he's over something. Some things when you have to deal with a lot of this stuff, sometimes you don't even want to deal with it. You don't want to talk about it, or you're surprised that people don't know. Then he also had a long day. He already told us when he came on, but he already told us
I had a long week.
Yeah,
but it's man, I don't know.
Yeah, Dre said that's why I love being an 80s baby, because we got taught no matter what. 100%. Yeah, back in 80s into the 90s,
there was no holding of knowledge. I mean, we talked about that too yesterday, Tank, about how things changed in the early 80s and how it affected the 90s and all that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It doesn't matter if you talk about economically, politically, socially. What things the CIA did, we don't want to admit those things, so we erase it and make it pretend like it never happened, and it could disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Propaganda is fine. I agree. So
yeah.
It's funny. It's fun. Yeah, I'm glad we were able to talk about that, guys. But I don't want to, steal the entire thing. I don't want to. I know. I could go into it. If you think I'm bad, you should hear my father. What do you think we write things down? My dad goes through and he writes it all down. And we have, as I said, when we have a family tree, we have copies of it and we send it to each one of our of us. So we all have in our house a copy of our family tree. We all have in our house our story and how it went from the first person to the next person to the next person. So we all know how long we've been. So my mother's family has been here since the 1780s, and my dad's been here since 1802.
Yeah.
So I mean, specifically where we came from and how it grew from there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's even again, go to your library. They offer these genealogy things that you have to pay for free. Most libraries offer it for free. And when my girlfriend was getting her master's degree, for to be a librarian, one of her electives was genealogy, because her family, things kind of get lost, and she has to kind of pretty much either go to Puerto Rico and get a bunch of records, or go to Mexico and get a bunch of records. She decided to do my family, and because I never did it, so we were able to go back and find out all this stuff. On my dad's side, on the male part, on my grandfather's side, all the way back to. I found my grandfather who fought in the Civil War, for the North. And then all the way back to the original, the first one that came to the country. He was in 1800, landing in pretty much in Philadelphia was his first census. So, and then they all moved to kind of east or west, I should say. But yeah. But and then even on my grandma's side, I got all the way back to Mexico, and then you're able to put certain info out, so when other people look it up, they can reach out. Somebody reached out from Mexico to Erica, to my girlfriend, was like, "Hey, your grandmother is also my great aunt or some shit. So here's a picture." So they had a picture of my grandmother when she was a kid, So that was super cool. So even. Just I think it's a lot of fun, and it's something I never really, I won't say I really didn't care about until you start kind of opening up and start going through, and finding out all these things, it's and there's some bad shit too,
but that's important to know, all of it. It's all part of, you're not just reading books, you're reading your own
it's your history, and then you see, like, especially like you take what happened with like a person in a certain time and see the time they lived with what was going on in the country, and you're like, oh shit, okay, so it was like really cool. So, well, but if you live in the Midwest, Fort Wayne, Indiana, their library has like the country's best genealogy records. Like you would have thought, like, Indiana, the library is gorgeous, man. It is a gorgeous library.
That makes more sense, right? I mean, if you really want to know what you want to go somewhere that's going to hold on, you need to have history of who was purchased when the slave is during slavery. You need to know how families have developed. You want to know all of those things. So you need to go somewhere who's not afraid of all the knowledge and being truthful.
Yeah, you can go down and find out a bunch of stuff. Like on my mom's side, there's a lot of because I see collector a lot of French Canadian, German, Irish. That on my mom's side, there's a lot of that. Like my great grandfather on my mom's side was Canadian, like from Canada. So
I'm 33% Irish. 100%.
Yeah.
I was like 33%.
33.
That's a big percentage, right?
That's funny.
Oh man.
Like, that explains why I like whiskey. Whatever.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Legacy is important. I think it is. Yeah.
And not losing yourself and not losing who we are. That's important. And all of you, for everyone, Oh,
that's pretty cool, collector. Especially if you're, I think if you're over a certain percentage Native American, then you can prove it. Like you can get a lot of like education stuff. Like a lot of colleges will be free and stuff like that. So,
which is weird, because like you do 23andMe, and then I said we have our family tree. I think I was 18% Cherokee, 34% Cameroonian, another 30% Ghanaian. So like we start realizing and then it's like small percentages of everything else that puts you all together. So between Irish, Ghanaian, and Cameroonian, like that's the majority of me.
Yeah.
And then when you start adding all the stuff up, it gets to 100. And it's like, oh wow. And then you can kind of follow from there. So very cool.
Yeah.
You guys have great conversations. I love looking at what everything's saying.
Yeah. But so Mom says she's afraid of the 23andMe thing. I don't want to look at my sister.
Don't look like my sisters.
Yeah. But I'm afraid of the 23andMe because like you have to sign like paperwork like for them to do it, and like they kind of like own your DNA, and I was like, I'm good. You already own everything else. Can I keep my DNA, please? So yeah. And I was like, I don't know what they plan on doing with that. 50 years from now.
So there's other websites like my dad, when he went to Ghana, he heard about I think it's something like a genealogy bank. There's a My Heritage. There's a specific for Black ancestry. So our Black ancestry, like you can go to those sites too, and then you still own your DNA. They won't hold on to. They'll ship it back and just give you the information. So it's and there's no agenda about it. So you have things that are tailored towards African Americans for Black people too. So that's huge too. And it will go, because it's connected to Africa, it will go back there too. So they'll find out from there, and then they'll take you to Ghana, and then it's like, okay, this is where you came from here. And then they'll go down to a town. They'll go to, to a village. So like it's really, really cool for me. So I found that out from my father again. So he's very cool.
Yeah.
If I had more time, I will set up his stuff and he'll talk. He don't stop. You think I don't stop? You see him.
But I mean, also somebody who is more of our like generation, Plant Fanatics and Darius, like he so it's not just like the older generations, like like keeping it alive, somebody like Darius playing Fanatics.
No, but Darius explained more things that I didn't know. I was like, bro, really? You could go in. He said every black person has their card. Every black person in Oklahoma has their card.
Yeah.
And you go down there and trace your genealogy all the way back. What? I need to go to Oklahoma.
Yeah. I know he did a live video and like an edited recorded video talking about stuff like that. And I was like I love like history. So especially when you're getting into like your personal history and how much of that was especially ingrained in American history. So that stuff is a lot of.
I talked to him for like an hour and a half about it. Me and him just sitting there talking.
Yeah. Oh man.
Said I can make an AI version of me because I'm awesome. I don't know if you could allow it. AI wouldn't believe it. They'll look there and say, "No, there ain't no person like Brian. No, we can't have that."
That's very true. Oh man, but good talking points on an important day in America.
Mm-hmm.
And for people that don't know, like Maria doesn't know, and hopefully we kind of, obviously Brian told you the exact thing, but then kind of like talking about just why, days like this are important.
Yeah, why they hidden?
Yeah.
Why they hidden?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I had to look it up because I'm like, when was the Tulsa massacre? It was 1921.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, was it 31? Because I know it was 1900, early 1900s, but yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. 300 black people were killed, and as many as 10,000 were left homeless.
And that it's happened. That same thing has happened throughout history multiple times. You can go through. It's about every 30 to 30 years something like this happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, you go like was it Vienna, Illinois, 1954. They had white residents burn down black homes right outside the city limits. And then it started, stuff like that.
You can talk about. I mean, people don't even know about all the slave revolts that happened. No one knows about them. And how Virginia was almost taken. The entire state of Virginia. If the militia, like the army happened not happened to be there in Virginia, it would all been gone. Virginia would have been a black state, and just happened to work out that way. Things like this really happen. So, all right, well, we could go on to something else.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff like that. But
big ups to Nat Turner.
What was that?
It's a big ups to Nat Turner. Almost had the entire state of Virginia.
That
was like 1830s.
Yeah.
Something around there.
Yeah. My brother said I have a friend who's working on an AI version of me. Nice. He's making a YouTube movie using a bunch of our friends. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
That is Zod writer. Bring on it.
I don't know if I would want the AI version of me.
The AI stuff is getting crazy, man. It is getting crazy. Like it is getting so hard. Feel
the difference?
Yeah. Because right now I'm not subscribed, but like I get recommended a lot of Bigfoot AI. So I don't know if you've seen that. That's kind of going around a lot where like it's Bigfoot, but then he's just like a normal dude, like he's working with like a Mexican like construction crew. And there's one where he's a Baltimore Ravens fan, so he's talking shit about every other fandom. It's like, but it's Bigfoot. And it just looks stupid, but like it looks Like if it wasn't for him being Bigfoot, everything else looked so real. All the other humans, the areas they were at, the backgrounds, everything looked so real. You know, if it wasn't for a giant like 8 foot, Chewbacca looking thing, talk, wearing a Ravens jersey. Yeah.
Harry and the Henderson is
the Bigfoot vlogs. The Bigfoot vlogs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the other one is what's her name? It's the Hispanic lady. What was her name? But she's like big right now too with her AI. Keep talking about she's gonna throw her chancla at people at the protests or at the protests, throw them at ice and stuff like that. Yeah. There's one video where she's like literally riding Superman, throwing chanclas.
What?
Yeah, it's so stupid, but it looks so fucking real. It's like if it wasn't for the absurdity part, everything else looks like there, But so if they wanted to be serious, they can really do some scary shit, man.
Dre says Bigfoot secretly a Chiefs fan. Oh my gosh.
Bigfoot talking shit to
he's now in jail.
No, he's in jail. Yeah. The Bigfoot stuff is pretty funny. Like him, seeing him talk shit about like all these other about the Bengals and about Allen, and man.
I ain't gonna hate Josh Allen. I ain't hating at all.
Yeah.
Hey. 2 thumbs up for me, Josh Allen. I see you.
Mm-hmm. Not just because of his football.
No, 100% hate Seinfeld. That ain't nothing to do with his football skills.
Yeah.
Nothing at all to do with his football skills.
Oh man. So we don't got too much things to talk about. On Saturday we'll probably talk about Elio. I'm going to see it tomorrow. I don't know if you plan on seeing it, Brand Man. I know.
You mean it's actually coming out? They're not delaying it again?
No,
it's actually out right now.
Yeah. It's from what I heard, it's getting pretty good reviews. From what I heard so far,
claim it's out. Holy shit!
So from what I hear, I had a family that next door to me went to the movie theater, and they're the only family there, and this is at 6:00.
Yeah, that I heard too. That not a lot of people are going to see it.
What happens when you delay your movie over and over?
No, it's because people don't know what the hell the movie was about, and they did a terrible job marketing it until the last month.
Right now, it's sitting at 87% with the critics, with 99 reviews. So, and this is on a Thursday. So, see how it is.
Let's see if we get 500.
I mean,
kids need to have movies. So why am I going tomorrow?
Yeah,
kids gotta have a movie to go to, right?
Yeah, somebody in our Discord group, in the MovieTuber Discord group, I saw, because I'm trying to avoid spoilers and everything, but the notification came up and it was like I was crying so much. I was like, damn, for real? So yeah.
I mean, but you know what? You can feel that. Why would a kid want to get be abducted?
Yeah.
So there's gonna be trauma.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of trauma.
It's a Pixar movie, of course there will be.
Exactly. But I mean, the big thing is kind of what Brandman was saying, with them constantly, delaying it, the marketing, like you were saying, Brian, is they're kind of gaslighting people with oh, see, no one wants originals. But I was like, but you constantly delayed it. No one knew when it was coming out. The marketing was trash, so it's not on the people, really. It's more on you not putting a good effort in. It's the same thing with Elemental. Elemental, it
took a long time for people to figure out what the hell it was about.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. It looks gorgeous.
It's not a movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I hope this Elio is also pretty good, but we'll see.
Even if it is good, no one will know about it.
I know. And I think it's only projected to make 30 million this weekend, which is super low.
That's not what I saw.
You saw lower?
Yeah.
That's the last I saw. So I mean, it could be I saw that like on Monday or Tuesday or something. But I'm hearing mostly good things. Mostly good things. So
I'm hearing global though. It was going to be 50, 55.
Global, that's super low.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I'm surprised. I didn't see
low.
the domestic number, but I saw global 55. I was like,
yeah. 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 So it's not our Discord group. It's we're in another one. So
the movie tubers.
Yeah, the movie tuber ones. Because we have our Discord, we just don't really take advantage of it that much.
Yeah.
So usually during football season, I think we get a lot more fancy football talk more than movie talk and stuff like that. So yeah.
Do you think How to Train Your Dragon might do better than Elio?
Oh yeah,
100%.
That's not good.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, this week. So
no,
like,
this week
the drop off will be so much that Elio is third, possibly.
What would be else in front of it?
28 years later.
Oh yeah.
That comes out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see that Saturday. So,
yeah.
28 years later, How to Train Your Dragon, and Elio's third, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. How to Train Your Dragon is going to probably be number one, I think. Yeah. And 28 years. I forgot about that, but that's getting, I hear everyone. The only person I heard that didn't like it was E-Man.
Really?
So,
E-Man didn't like it?
E-Man didn't like it. He's the only one that didn't like it. Everyone else I hear is just saying how much they love it. So, yeah. So it's got a pretty good number on Rotten Tomatoes. I think. Where is it at? I think I saw it at like a 92 so far. Yeah, 92 with the critics. And it's 131. It's only a 67 with the audience so far.
That's interesting. So 20 years later, it's going to have it might be first because it's probably going to be right around 57, 58 domestically.
Yeah.
But is it too late? Is it too much time in between?
Not hyped for any of them. I get it. I get it. Like, why you wouldn't be hyped for any of them?
I'm not hating on that at all.
Yeah,
I'm holding. I'm gonna watch all of them, but I'm definitely holding on for F1 next week. I cannot wait to see that. That looks amazing. And then you're gonna have Jurassic World, and then you're gonna have Superman, and then we're gonna just start rolling downhill. So it's gonna be just hitting you left and right with these unbelievable movies. So,
yep, school's out, movie time. Get a lot of that. It was the last time I looked. It was at 98. Yeah, I think because I'm looking at it right now. Probably went down a little bit, which is normal. By Monday you'll probably get more of an accurate number. Once everyone goes to see it over the weekend. F1 looks good. F1 looks really good, especially if you're like into cars. Good actors. Brad Pitt and Damson Idris.
That's a good transition time, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. So let's talk Damson Idris.
Let me pull it up real quick because I want to get exactly what he said.
He was very coy about the entire conversation. Yeah, he did admit that he had the conversations, but he didn't say anything else. He also didn't say yes or no.
Yeah. So there's a lot of the rumors that he's going to be the next Black Panther. He's kind of the main person everyone's talking about. It's going to be him. We don't know if it's going to be T'Challa from a different universe or the child aged up from a different universe. Which that just sounds stupid,
doesn't even make sense. But if he's T'Challa, technically they'll use T'Challa name no matter what.
Yeah.
They'll use T'Challa name no matter what it is. But it's very big chance that he could be the new Black Panther going forward. I know She Dreads Me was talking about it. That he was offered it earlier, he turned it down, but apparently he didn't turn it down. He just didn't want to have a conversation yet. He wanted a more solidified part, and this is going to probably be the same one who's going to be here for for Doomsday, Secret Wars, and Black Panther 3. Because the 616 is going to be destroyed.
I mean, it sounds like it's gonna be destroyed.
If you're gonna have a battle world, it's gonna all be in the void, right? Well, the void is where everyone's gonna be able to hide out, but you're gonna have a battle world that's being created. So everything else is destroyed. So even though if he's from a different place, a different multiverse place, universe, he can still be the new main Black Panther going forward. They can change all the negative things that they've done.
Just by doing this like reset.
Yep.
Kind of.
And I've already told you what I want, right? I want his parents to be alive. I want him having his father in his life. I want his kid to be in any kids he's gonna have life. Have that generational thing, have his entire family there. Let's not mess up any of the stuff now. Let's get it all right.
Yeah. So a lot of people from a different universe. That's kind of the big one. It said, as long as you keep M'Baku, I think they will. I think they're gonna keep Shuri.
Yeah,
keep M'Baku. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, man.
No, I was just kind of chiming in on that. I think they'll keep M'Baku as a constant character. I'm not holding my breath on anything, especially not with T'Challa. To be honest, it's probably just going to stay Shuri.
So there will be a new Black Panther because you have to, because of the Hickman run. I think because they're using it, you have to have T'Challa, or what's the point of using Hickman at all? Yeah,
you're gonna use some of the story, but not the main part of the story. Yeah,
probably.
But I do think we're gonna get it.
It makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to. I still hope. Yeah, I still have hope, but it's dwindling.
I'm predicting we're gonna get at least 2 people, probably 3 people in that Black Panther suit at the same time in one movie. Probably all pointing to each other like a Spider-Man thing. Yeah, not too much, but I mean, Shuri.
To hold down what they're saying is a mantle to pass down. But
but you're gonna get Shuri. It's gonna be Black Panther for sure because in main universe she is. But then you got to get the other one from another universe, and you might get a third one from a different universe. Maybe you go someone from the past. I don't know. So if they're stupid enough to do, the Ryan Gosling Black Panther,
I will burn it down.
That would be even if it's like a joke. I think that might not be the best joke.
No, I will burn the itch down. Like you'll see me on the news. You don't want to be the real world. You'll see me on the news.
Local man crying T'Challa, screaming T'Challa is
as he's burning down all Marvel Studios.
Humoring the incels and giving them what they want. That would piss me off so much. It'd be such an asshat thing to do.
But if it did that, I would be 100% just going to Disney and say I'm going to DC and say I'm done with Disney.
Yeah.
You
go on a Disney cruise. They kept T'Challa alive in the Disney cruise storyline.
It's because you gotta entertain people,
and they know that he's gonna bring it.
Hold on, let me read this Entertainment Weekly.
Go ahead. That's what I was gonna.
Said Damson Idris is adding further fuel to the rumors that he may be taking over the role T'Challa famously played on screen by the late Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther 3. While visiting today on Wednesday, the 33-year-old F1 the movie actor was asked to participate in the game, and he answered a series of yes or no questions about what he's got coming up next in his career. There's some speculation out there that the universe, that could be cast as the next Black Panther co-anchor. Craig Melvin said, "Have you had any conversations about that? Yes or no?" It just let out a groan response and said, "Yes, no." He shouted, trying his best to cheekily sidestep a question. Melvin wasn't letting him off the hook so easily. By the way, the yes no means yes, he teased. To which Idris replied, it could mean no. But it probably means yes, Melvin said. He added, if they asked, would you say yes? It just didn't hesitate to respond. He said yes.
On that article, there's the video from the Instagram reel. From that, I don't know if you want to play that instead of reading, because I just saw Alex. I'm on the same article, and I'm like, "Oh, what is this?" I'm like, "Oh, this is."
Yes,
I don't know if you wanted to watch.
Pull it up.
Yeah. Well, I was like, "Oh shit, right there."
Okay,
he would be a great Black Panther, I think.
I was already playing it, so I gotta see if I can get back to the beginning. But no, we'll just hear from the beginning.
Out there in the universe that you could be cast as the next Black Panther. Have you had any conversations about that? Yes or no?
Yes, no.
By the way, the yes no means yes.
Could mean no.
No, probably means yes. If they asked, would you say yes?
Yes.
That's what he said. He said yes.
Mm-hmm.
We all know where I wanted to be, right? But will I hate dancing Idris? No. If it's a yes or no question, will I hate dancing? No. The answer is no.
Yeah.
Will I hate him be the child? Yes.
Yeah.
Will I hate him being a variant? No.
Yeah. Yeah, I think going variant is the best way to fix this situation without getting too caught up in the weeds a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got Derpy announced. Derpy said he wanted him as Jon Stewart. That would have been cool.
I would love him as Jon Stewart.
That would have been cool.
Oh my God. I would have loved it. But, can't always get what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. He was in the running for that too.
He should have been. That would have been great. If he was Jon Stewart, I would have been sold.
Yeah. But excuse me. He's if we're gonna do, Black Panther with T'Challa coming back, I'm cool with him. He's young enough. I don't know how young exactly, but
that's what I just say. He's 33. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in the article. Yeah. So he could be there for a while. So
and you're gonna need. So I think what they're gonna use. This is what you can put him in this mutant saga, right, with all the Xmen and everything, because then you'll be able to use him with Storm, which is one of the greatest storylines ever, So no matter what people try to do to erase it, it's that dude. But yeah, my hate is a little bit. It's showing a little bit, but I think he is an amazing actor, and we saw in Snowfall in his progression was awesome. My only question is, so I was talking to Collector. You guys all saw me talk to Collector about Children of Blood and Bone, right? He's supposed to be one of the actors in it. He should be, and this is a 3-part movie. Will he have time to be T'Challa and be in that movie? And I'm telling you, he's gonna want to be in that movie probably more than anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It'll mean more than anything. Like if you read the books, you understand why it would mean more.
Yeah, but I think he could do it. You can plan things out. So everything can fit properly. I'm gonna bring that down. So he could do both. I think so. So yeah. But hey, I'm not too worried about that. But
both. I don't know.
I think so.
a 3-movie deal. Like this is 3 movies that you're talking about, and they're doing it one year after year after year. Can he then turn around and then be in all the Marvel things?
Yeah,
I feel like that would come with the territory, right?
yeah. I think as long as you plan things around timing, I think you can get the timing to work.
I mean, the only person who did extra moves while being in the middle of their Marvel contract was Chris Hemsworth, right? You didn't get many movies from anyone else. You didn't have another series of movies from anyone. And his
that's a good point.
Were from Netflix. So you have to be open to filming at any time. So I think it means more. I think it means more than just what it is. But it's possible that Children of Blood and Bone could be filming at the beginning of 2026, which means maybe you have the sequel before, in 2027, before you really start Black Panther 3, even though it was written, before you start filming. So, man, that's possible that you could do it that way. But I don't think he could have 2. I think Children of Blood and Bone is going to be a big franchise. Because as I read the 3rd book, the more I realized it's not about, the American and European slave trade. So this that made me sigh a breath of relief, like oh, good, thank God. So this 3rd movie is going to be all 3 movies, and it's going to be a big one. I almost could guarantee you right now that Children of Blood Bowl is going to make over $700 million. This is before they start filming. I'm telling
no, they're done filming.
They're done filming the first one.
Yeah, June 1st. They concluded. They wrapped the filming.
I wouldn't be surprised if they start the second one beforehand, before the movie's released. I can see them doing it.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. So the movie's scheduled to be released in January 15, 2027, and they just finished filming this month.
That's crazy.
They started filming in February, and then they ended June 1st. Yeah, but that's a long ass time. I mean, I get you have to edit and whatnot, but damn, that's like a year and a half.
I've never heard anything that long, but whatever. Yeah. If they're
they'll probably adjust. They'll adjust it. But yeah, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if they possibly start to film, the other ones. But usually the first one is the studio wants to see how well it does, and if it does well, they'll probably do 2 and 3 back to back.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
The first one will be to test waters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised with this one. You already filmed the second one. This is one of the best books and the highest grossing books, like, period. So why would you wait that long? I don't know. I mean, and then the names you have, Cynthia Erivo, right? Idris Elba, right? Chiwetel Ejiofor, Damson Idris, Viola Davis, Amanda Stenberg. Like Regina King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the cast just freaking stacked.
I can go on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Did you like Supercell? The main character from there. He's in it. Like this is Toast and Cole, right? He's gonna be Zane. Zane is amazing. He's an amazing character. Oh my God. So like this is going to be a huge movie. I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and just already have the next one going.
Yeah. But I mean, so that production took 74 days. There's going to be probably reshoots. There's always some reshoots. It's not just like, Marvel trying to fix shit. It's every movie has reshoots. Things don't look right, or they want to add a thing here and there, blah, blah, blah. But it took 74 days for the main filming. So, I mean, that's 3 months, less than 3 months, that you can do stuff like that. So I can see him being able to do multiple, doing Black Panther and being able to do the other 2 movies. as those come out.
Yeah, but you have to be on. So you couldn't do any Disney Plus, right? You couldn't do anything else. And then you have Black Panther, you have Avengers, and you have Xmen stuff. You're gonna have a lot of responsibilities. So would you be surprised if you hear that Dempsey Idris is going to sign a 5-movie deal? Only a 5-movie deal? Not a year, but movie deal.
5-movie. No. I think that's the newer kind of thing that Marvel's been going with. Like, even 5 is kind of a lot, but because usually it's about 3.
But but that's
yeah.
Doomsday, Secret Wars, but it's back to back. Black Panther 3, right there.
Like there's already 3 right there.
And then you do 1 X-Men movie, that's 4. And you think there's no more T'Challa?
I don't even know if they put him in an X-Men movie right away.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
This is what I thought. What Collector's saying. This is exactly what I thought.
They filmed all 3 Bloodbone movies back to back, like Lord of the Rings did. They filmed those back to back and released 1 a year. Okay.
No, say are they filming all 3?
Oh, are they?
Are they? That they are.
We heard news about the first one.
Yeah.
I thought I heard that they might start the second one, but they wouldn't begin filming till the middle of 2027.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much. Is there a sequel to Bloodbone? Talking about the book. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything about like filming the second one or not. It's just a lot of the first one.
The second installment of the Avengers is similar to movie adaptation. It might be a few years before they. Yeah, it might be a few years before they film the next one. The Children of Anguish and Anarchy is probably the best book of all 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. There's no indication that the two films are being produced, let alone the 3 films at the same time.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
This
is crazy. Because I mean, the movie coming out for another, a year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah.
In January.
IMAX. They have it in IMAX.
Yeah. I mean, they better. It's gonna be, they're going to like Africa to shoot a lot of the stuff, and so it's gonna look really, really, really cool.
You have to. If you read that book, you have to film in South Africa. It's a South African story. That's just what it is.
Yeah, you can't shoot it in friggin' Toronto or some shit like that.
No, you would not be able to.
That'd be funny. But it's coming out in 2027, January 2027. So you got to figure at the earliest they'll start filming in 2027. Unless it really starts getting a lot of traction and people start talking about it more, then maybe they might start a little bit early.
Unless he is really T'Challa and they're pushing the new movie. Maybe he does such a great job that they're like, we need him, and we need him in Black Panther 3.
It wouldn't be the first time a movie's been or a shooting schedule's been shifted to accommodate someone's schedule. Kevin Feige's definitely done it in the past, with Sherlock and Benedict Cumberbatch. But if there's any truth to the Black Panther rumors, he's an actor. It's a business based on shifting schedules, so I'm sure they could accommodate. I am kind of curious to see if they do the Children of Blood and Bone sequels. If they, it would be cool if they do film these movies back to back. It wouldn't, they did it with Lord of the Rings. They did it with Hunger Games. They did it with pretty much all the Twilight movies. It's got enough of a following to where they could spend the money. I hope they don't dawdle with it. But like you said, Brian, hypothetically, what if he is Black Panther? It would be interesting to see how they accommodate and what that would mean for tentative movies.
Dude,
release dates.
This franchise is amazing.
Yeah,
and the books are amazing, and the story is very. It's a black story, but without it being riddled with all the negativity around a lot of black stories that they like to base a lot of it around racism and slavery and all that.
It's not Tyler Perry.
We didn't even talk about him.
Let me not even go there. Yeah, it would be great to see them kind of it be a big hit, akin to other novel adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see it happen. And just like you said, man, that cast is enough to be excited.
Yeah.
Even if you know nothing about the book.
See, I read them. I'm telling you, you should be excited. But the sadness of the first one, man, it's serious.
So I had to look it up because I'm like, wait, who's the studio behind it? So it's Paramount. Paramount's the studio behind it.
You got no money for that?
Exactly, man. They're doing a lot of the layoffs with the Skydance merger, as a lot of the mergers usually do and stuff like that. So, yeah, because like if Disney's like, oh, hey, you got to come, say if he is Black Panther, and like, hey, you need to come film this one scene real quick. You know what I mean? Like,
who pays me the most? Come on, man. It's gonna make more money with Disney. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And I hope Damson, if he is, I'm still not giving up hope of Aldous Hodge. I'm not giving up the hope. The hope is still within me. I see you, what you're saying. I'm with you. Until I see him on the screen, I'm not saying anything happened. So I see him with my own two eyes. But
I'm the same way. That's why I'm like, the speculation could always go either way.
Yeah.
Until Marvel says it, I ain't believing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, this stuff is fun to talk about, especially what you see them being asked questions on TV. That was what the I forgot whatever he was on.
He was on Entertainment Weekly, right?
Well, no, he was the interview he was on. Wasn't that the morning?
It's the Today Show.
The Today Show. It was Today Show. So stuff like that. So like, people are asking these questions, which is really good. But like that, it's fun to talk about, but it doesn't mean anything until we see the movie. It's the same thing. I'm looking with the Spider-Man movie. Was a Brand New Day or whatever.
Brand New Day, yeah.
My God, man, they're saying blah 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 is going to be it. Blah. It's reminding me of the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness again.
The difference between the Spider-Man movies is that it's already doing stuff. It's already, isn't it filming?
They're pre-production.
Pre-production. Yeah, pre-production. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But it's just so much. Like, Hulk's going to be in it. This is going to be in it. She's going to be in it. This person's going to be in it. I was like, it's cool to read about, but also it's like, you know what? Like, until I see it, I ain't, I'm not going to get hyped up for it.
Same.
But it's fun to talk about for sure. Speculations and theories and stuff like that. But I'm not going to let it change my my expectations, of it. Of
Marvel screwing up and messing it all up, and that's there's a perfect segue into DC, because I'm out one movie away from saying F Marvel. I'm right there, guys. I'm like looking like this. I'm about to fall. I forget you guys.
What James Gunn's like, hold down there with his arms open.
Come on in. I'm not coming in either with you until I see a Static Shock or Icon or something. Steal something. Say, well,
yeah.
It's terrific.
Yeah, and he looks awesome. I just hope the character. I mean, even what's his name, the actual actor, said it feels like a redemption story from what happened with his previous run as a superhero.
Yeah, I'm still angry about that.
The dumbest thing ever. ever. Just Jesus. You know,
I do
well, real
worry
quick,
about. Oh, go ahead.
you know, it's just all Derpy got the early event, so he's going to see Superman early. So definitely want to hear your thoughts when you see it. I got a feeling that you're gonna like it because I think you're already like so
There's
hyped
nothing
up
they
and
can
geared
do.
to like, yeah. But I want to see what he says. I'm going on the 10th.
Me too.
Like at 2:00 or something, like one of the first shows on that Thursday. So
I'm way later than you, like 3:30.
yeah. Yeah, I took the day off. I took a vacation day for just to go see Superman. So yeah. I just said I'm gonna like it too.
I have never seen you like it. Know that you're gonna like a movie.
First time for something.
So I'm going to like it. Whoa.
That'll be the stamp of approval. If Anzo comes in and is like, you know what, I like it. I was like, all right.
No, I want to see Anzo like a Batman movie. Superman is a very superhero movie, right? He likes things that are super, superhero like. It's not realistic. He likes that. So.
Well, I mean, that's a good segue into the
Gunn.
Batman stuff with James Gunn. Because we got two Batman things going on with Gunn. First is the Batman Part 2. He what he said was kind of funny. So pretty much they asked him about it being canceled and like it's not going to happen. So James Gunn said this. He goes, quote, listen, we're supposed to get a script in June. I hope that happens. We feel really good about it. Matt's excited. I talk to Matt all the time. I'm totally excited about it. We can't wait to read the scripts, but we haven't read it yet, if that's your question. And then oh shit, sorry. Freaking thing popped up. And he said people should get off Matt's back. He said something else because it's like let the guy write the screenplay in the amount of time he needs to write it. That's just the way it is. He doesn't owe you something because you like his movie. I mean, you like his movie because of Matt, so let Matt do his thing.
To be fair, but you can't wait 5 years.
Yeah.
Script in June, what, 2058?
Well, they were supposed to have the script like a couple months ago, from what I understand too. Like they were expecting the script in like April, I think. And then that never happened.
This movie was originally supposed to be out at the end of this year.
Yeah.
I mean, and him being an executive producer for The Penguin should not stop him from writing a sequel to the Batman. Ooh, man, Kenny, it's got out 28 years later.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. What you think, Kenny? No spoilers. Save it for your review, but just a quick. What you think?
That's interesting what Ace is saying. So Grounded versus Fantastical is completely okay. That means everyone that likes Batman gets the best of both worlds. How can Batman ever be fantastical?
Well, I don't think it's Batman being fantastical so much as the world around him being fantastical. I think you might just kind of have to go all in the sense that, a lot of the comics aren't exactly realistic. So if Gunn is kind of setting expectations with this universe, with things like Superman and Peacemaker and Creature Commandos, I think a lot of the audiences will just kind of follow suit. So it's the devil's in the details with that, and more importantly, in the execution itself. It depends.
Like I would say, Ben Affleck's Batman is the fantastical kind of Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because everyone around him is doing all these crazy things, and
even he's doing crazy shit.
Even he's doing, like he was like peak human. We saw the way he was moving in that warehouse.
I mean, have you seen a 6'4" Batman that could do all the things? Come on, man.
Yeah, that's what makes it like fantastical. He was doing all that crazy stuff. Then he had the suit, the crazy, the anti-Superman suit and stuff like that. So yeah. Same with Keaton. I would even say Keaton was like very fantastical too.
Yeah.
Not to the same extreme as Ben Affleck, but especially
Batman Returns
especially in Returns.
Batman Returns is very fantastical. The first Batman 1989, I don't know if it's fantastical, but definitely the second one. Definitely.
Yeah. The first one, I think why I love that one so much because I think it rode that line of being somewhat grounded, but also kind of fantastical. So it was like, and I thought it did it perfect because Joker was crazy. So.
Yeah, it was a stylized or kind of exaggerated reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And even I think that really goes for think what you will of the quality, but from Burton to Schumacher, they kind of established those ground rules and ran with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. So we're gonna get the grounded Batman in the Batman Part 2 from Matt Reeves whenever that happens, but the thing James Gunn said, it's not canceled. It's still happening. It's going to be an Elseworld story. So he said it's still happening. As of right now, it's still going on. But he was asked about his Batman, and I thought this was kind of interesting. So he said Batman has a reason for existing, right? So Batman can't just be, we're making a Batman movie because Batman is the biggest character in all of DC, which he is. He goes, but because there's a need for him in the DCU and a need that he's not exactly the same as Matt's Batman, but yet he's not a campy Batman. He goes, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in a funny, campy Batman, really. He goes, so we're dealing with that. I think I have a way in. By the way, I think I really know what it is. I'm just dealing with the writer, or I'm just dealing with the writer to make sure that we make it reality. So he doesn't want a campy Batman. He doesn't want a goofy Batman, but he also doesn't want a grounded Batman. So it's interesting, like he doesn't want the Matt Reeves Batman. He doesn't want, but he also doesn't want
too grounded, but he doesn't need to be.
He doesn't need to be like Adam West. I'm thinking like Adam West is the super campy, but even like Val Kilmer, George Clooney, theirs were pretty campy too.
Was George Clooney's? I can't remember. I mean,
they had bat nipples. They got.
I don't know if that's campy. I don't know.
That's
campy.
That's campy.
No,
he pulls out a bat credit card. That's campy.
Yeah. That was like the Adam West Batman on crack, basically.
Yeah.
I can't tell you I remember Clooney at all, or
good
O'Donnell or
good.
That
stuff. Good.
And will I ever go back and look? No. Just do I don't remember it. I won't go back.
yeah. But I like it. But he's not writing it, so he's not writing the Batman, and he's already said he's not directing the Batman.
Well, that's why you can say it don't have to be camp, because he likes to have a lot of jokes, but you don't have to do that with Batman because he need to be dark.
Yeah.
Guess who should be the director of the new Batman movie for James Gunn?
Yeah.
Because they say it, yeah.
He has a director, right?
Because
they have a director, right?
Yeah, it's Andy Muschietti who did supposedly who did it in The Flash.
Yeah. I don't know who's writing it though. Because he said he's working with the writer. To deal with getting that version of the Batman. Also, I like that, like, he's like, the Batman just isn't there because he's the Batman. Like, he has a reason to be the Batman. There's a reason why he's there. So obviously you're going to get into a lot of backstory and whatnot. So, I'm that sounds exciting to me. It was like, I'm really interested in what we're getting.
I'm not excited about nothing yet.
Well, also from the show that was Creature Commandos, we saw that's Batman in the DCU. Granted, we only saw him just standing there, but him just standing there was pretty cool. Like it was very Batman like. It wasn't.
How could it? If it was just standing there, how would it not be Batman like?
Like ask Adam West. Like
him just standing there, like unless he was walking up the wall, like that's
you could have had him like doing
there.
like a Spider-Man squat, like he's done stuff like that before, but it just he was very, fear, the people that were looked up to him were all afraid, so I was like, okay, granted we said we didn't get much, but I don't want campy, but I really don't want super grounded either. I want somebody who's gonna be, a little bit grounded, but a little bit fantastical, very much like the Keaton 89 Keaton, I think, wrote that line of, you're fighting a dude who's the Joker, and then, but also you're a crime fighter, so
I don't
but
think
yeah, you drive around in this rocket
Batman.
ship.
I just don't want two Batmans in the universe. I don't want it.
That's the problem.
For the same character. It's not like we're doing a mantle that you're passing down. The same character? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want that. So I'm not interested. I'm not excited.
I'm not excited about Matt Reeves' Batman.
Well, I'm not excited about having two Batman. So I'm not going to say either of them until I see what's going on. And until then, I'm just going to reserve myself. I'm going to hold my own opinion until I can see that. And then when I see it, then I can make a decision. But as of right now, I'm just going to say
it's understandable.
Yeah. I just don't see why they're even bothering with the Batman 2. Like, yeah, it made a boatload of money. It was a great film. But now you're starting this new universe, and you're gonna start confusing people, and that's the last thing you want to do is confuse people. I mean, look, take a note from Marvel. Once Marvel started getting stupid and crazy with variants and time travel and multiple universes and shit like that, you started confusing a lot of the normies, and that's like the worst, era of Marvel. Is all this multiverse, saga stuff. So I don't know. As much as I like the Batman,
there's a lot of comments.
Yeah, I know. See what you guys are saying. So we left there. He said, that's what I mean when I say fantastical, basically a comic book movie that doesn't take out the crazy of the comic books. Yeah.
I want a Mask of the Phantasm live action movie.
That'd be so good.
That'd be awesome.
So good.
That's what I want. You give me that. I don't care if it's Matt Reeves Batman. I don't care who's Batman is. You give me Mask of the Phantasm. Let's go.
Yeah. That'd be so good. Good night, collector. Have fun reading the books and stuff like that. We'll probably do a couple. Oh yeah, I'll check the trailer that you sent and we'll see. But yeah, we'll probably try at least check out that Sandman trailer tonight.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I got the Sandman one. I put My Hero on Academia. It's the final season of that.
The final season. All right, I'm making a note. Just for you, Anzo, and what you're doing right now, you're like, no, we got to get the Darth Vader. Like, no, that's got to be one of the things.
Oh my god, I want that so bad. Oh,
I'm writing it down so I don't forget it. right there.
No.
Yeah.
You should do it with him and Luke.
and Luke. He said, "Damn you, Gunn." Yeah. But also, I feel like it's kind of a little bit out of his hand because of the first one making so much money that his bosses are also saying like, "No, you're making a sequel. You're going to allow the sequel to happen." And I don't know. Maybe it's Matt Reeves kind of like, I'll get to it when I get to it, and then never gets to it. So
that's how it's been recently. So
that's how it feels. Yeah, not canceled. Yeah. It says because look at this like this. We have Clayface. They just cast Clayface. Yep. It's gonna be the same one from the cartoon. To me, that's fantastic / comic book feel I'm looking for. Yeah, and that's the Clayface I want.
But that's
Me
what
too.
I'm saying. I worry about Clayface because it is very comic booky, and if you try to ground Clayface, I think that just sounds stupid.
But Clayface has such a great story.
But you're gonna ground it? I would hate a grounded.
I don't think you're
Clayface.
gonna ground him.
This is what I'm saying.
I think-
I think that's one character you shouldn't ever ground.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, like if they go with the cartoon kind of style, especially if they go with his that version of the backstory, which it seems like what they're gonna do, and kind of do a quote unquote horror, you know. I think that can work. You know,
I like what Kenny said about Man Bat being horror. That would be interesting.
That'd be awesome.
what was this one? I'm kind of going through everything.
It was further up.
Okay. No, that's Gunn's overthinking it. Oh yeah, there you go. Fantastical doesn't mean campy exactly. Yeah, no. Man Bat could be horrifying if done right. Yeah. Yeah. Fantastical doesn't mean campy, you know. Yeah, that doesn't. Like you know, Ben Affleck, that was very fantastical because of the world, but it wasn't campy by any means. It wasn't campy. I mean, the Martha thing I think was a little campy, but I think that was more
Martha.
Stupid.
Martha?
Yeah, I mean,
why'd you say that name?
I think it was just an easy way out, you know. I don't want to say lazy writing, but I kind of feel like it was. But,
No,
you know,
it's lazy. You're on the brink
Yeah.
of death, and you just randomly name drop your mother by
Yeah.
her first name. The dude who's actively trying to murder you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, both dudes are actively saving the world, you know, and they bond over that. I was like, okay, okay, cool, yeah.
Let's see if this actually works. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah. No. That but yeah, you can do some fantastical stuff with it. Yeah, Gunn is overthinking it. I don't think he's overthinking. I think he knows what he wants. You know, he doesn't want a grounded, like he doesn't want Matt Reeves Batman. He doesn't want, you know, Pattinson, but also he doesn't want, you know, campy, you know, and from a dude who's known for doing, you know, campy kind of stuff, you know, at times, you know, it's kind of interesting, you know. So
I think he needs to shut the hell up. I'll say the same thing I've been saying about Gunn from the beginning. Run the studio, shut the hell up. Do what you want to do. If you're answering a question, that's one thing. Don't volunteer information.
But like this is like from a Rolling Stone article, so he was answering questions and stuff like that.
He chose to go on Rolling Stone, and
now, a lot of times, as the head studio, you're kind of forced to go and do these, you know,
yeah, he's got to make those rounds. And stuff like that,
but he didn't have to talk about Batman right now. I think he could have went to the Rolling Stones article and focused on Superman.
Well, I mean, Rolling Stone asked him, was in the broadest sense, what needs to be figured out to make the two properties work, Batman in this universe, and that's what they did.
Yeah, so
then
they didn't come out of nowhere. That had to be still coming from somewhere, right?
Yeah. I mean, all these things are like pre-planned too. Yeah, these aren't just random questions. You know what I mean? It's like, here's a list of questions you're allowed to ask, and then, you know, there's a planned answer. You know, for the most part, especially with these. With Twitter, it's a little different. With Twitter, I think he needs to shut the fuck up. You know, social media.
I agree.
Yeah. Do your promotions, do stuff like that. But when it comes to like, you know, other stuff, you know, but him at least like kind of saying like I have an idea of what I want. I have kind of the vision. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. Gunn has also stated that Clooney is his favorite Batman, but it makes sense it makes sense because that's what Gunn likes. Gunn likes the corny, campy stuff. You know,
And it just surprises me that you guys are not worried that he's going to go corny for Superman.
I think he knows when to go corny and when not to. I'm just kind of waiting it out.
He said something recently about
I think
that
it was
too.
corny. I think it was corny, and everyone told him stop it.
Yeah,
and he finally said, "Okay."
Yeah. Because you have to know, you have to pick and choose. Like you can go corny with or campy with, Sergeant Rock or whatever fuck, that canceled one because I think that got canceled. You can go, campy and stupid with that if you want, because that's same thing with Creature Commandos. You can get a little crazy and stuff with that. Peacemaker, go all out, make a whole fucking dancing number. Cool, it's Peacemaker, whatever. But with Batman, with Superman, Wonder Woman, like there's a standard, that has to be adhered to. So I think he gets it. Hopefully.
Same.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm just going like this.
Yeah, exactly. So is that I keep saying Batman animated series live action. Oh, yeah. Copy and paste. That's copy.
Give me Massive Phantasm and go to the animated series and do 3 movies just like that. And I would be in heaven. Batman's it.
Mama Bear said, bring back the bat underwear. If it's good enough for Superman, it's good enough for Batman. That would be interesting.
I'd be fine with it.
I mean, I don't hate it, but like definitely like looking back at all of the, I can see that the black and gray, with the black, undies.
Yeah, or go the Arkham game look where like it was kind of the black undies, but it wasn't quite. But like the suit was kind of. Well, you remember what I'm talking about in that regard.
I know.
That'd be good.
Well, that would make sense because also, I mean, look what happened with Cavill and Ben Affleck. Like their suits kind of complemented each other. Both of them didn't have the underwear. Batman still had his utility belt, obviously, but they had the same kind of vibes, of it. So, have if you can do that. I'm cool with that. He also said keeping the title The Brave and the Bold. Yeah, for now. We'll see.
Depends on how the writing goes.
Yeah. They said the same thing
change
about
on the title. Yeah. Superman was originally Superman Legacy before that became just Superman. There's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Now it's just Supergirl. So they'll probably change The Brave and the Bold to just Batman.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to have 2 Batmans. Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
I just don't like it. And 2 concept of movies during the same time when both movies, are coming out. Not just like 5 years between them, but like the same exact time. Can you imagine the same year and releasing 2 Batman movies that have nothing to do with each other from the same studio the same year? Come on, bro.
You're like, oh, this is Elseworlds. Like, oh, didn't you see the different DC logo in the beginning of the film? Like, no, because everyone comes in late to movies now because trying to skip the 30-minute fucking credit or trailer.
I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried. The Batman Part 2 is not going to be out for another 20 years anyway.
Talking about, man, he's going to have that ready. By the end of this month in 2040.
Time traveling.
June 30th, 2040. Guys, it's going to be ready.
Yeah. Collector said he's more excited for the Matt Reeves Batman.
Brandman likes Matt Reeves Batman.
I love Matt Reeves Batman. I love that universe. I love that movie. I love the Penguin. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that universe. I'm happy that it's in its own corner. Okay. All right. Okay. So I think it functions better that way. But yeah, it's if Reeves needs that time to make like the best sequel that he can make, I'm fine with it, but there are no buts about it. It is what it is. But I am pretty curious to see the kind of more fantastical comic book-esque Batman that's gonna be in the Gunverse as well, especially since they're saying we're gonna get the Bat family. Yeah. Curious to see the execution of both.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And when we're going to see this new Batman in live action, for all we know, he could show up in the Clayface movie. You'd think in some capacity, right?
There's a rumor that's going around that the announcement of who's playing the Batman is going to be in a post-credit of the Superman movie. It's more, I won't even say a rumor, it's more of a theory. It's what people are assuming, like that would be an interesting way to one, you could definitely hype up Superman, by doing that. Like, oh, hey,
people will go see the movie just to see who's playing
post credit.
Just to see, even if you hear who it is, you want to see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be cool. But I mean, I'm not putting any money on that, rumor or theory. Yeah. But I mean, at the very least, it does prove that James Gunn can stay quiet if he can keep a secret, and make sure everyone else keeps a secret.
All you have to do is say, film it, but don't tell me.
Don't tell me. He's like this. He's like, cover his eyes. Oh man. Can't say I don't mind there being two different Batman. I watch and read multiple iterations of the same character at the same time. Yeah.
I think it's different for comic books than it is for
movies.
A movie, yeah. I can read TChalla and multiple. I can see the ultimate Black Panther, right? I can read the Avengers, so where T'Challa's there, and then I can not read. Man,
yeah. So, but also, I think as comic book readers, as comic book fans, you're kind of conditioned as being part of that fandom of comic books, where you're gonna have different runs and different iterations going at the same time. Like as a movie fan, though, you're kind of like, this is especially now because of the MCU. Like you're just like, hey, this is it. So because even look at most of the other one, Werewolf by Night. That came out. They said, "Hey, that's a little solo standalone thing." As soon as that came out, people were like, "Well, it fits in the universe this way, and you could do this." And it's like so many people were like, "Oh, they're gonna put Man Thing in here and blah blah blah." So it's you can't be making a universe, but also doing a side Elseworld story. I think people are gonna get confused.
Yep. Normies will definitely be confused, and they'll be like, "What? Yeah. Well, I just saw him in this."
Yeah. I mean, people are already getting confused now with Superman. With like, I thought Henry Cavill was Superman. I was like, yeah, but they rebooted the universe again. So, and that's just rebooting the universe. Tell them like, oh, there's two different Batman, but one doesn't know the other one. They're two different things. They don't. Yeah. I think Warner Brothers sees money with the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's their main, factor for getting that done.
Yep, and not just the Batman with what you got with Joker and
I was just gonna say, yep, that they started a while back that they will not have more than one version of each character. That's what he said, and that's what we even were thinking. We're like, oh, this Batman, the Batman, has to come out like either right before Superman or in this weird time, but he has to come out before DCU Batman. But now it's looking like
same year,
fucking same weekend and shit.
Which Batman you want to see?
Yeah, Batman versus Batman. Oh man, I enjoy the multiverse aspect, but the MCU messed it up big time.
Agreed.
Yeah. We're not getting into the Martha thing.
Martha.
Oh man. He wanted Bruce to save his mom. Yeah. It's all about Gunn.
I agree.
Can you give me a Snyder type Batman, I'm good. I mean,
I'm not going to disagree with that.
yeah. I love Ben Affleck's Batman, and I think if you're gonna go with an older Batman who has a kid who's had multiple sidekicks, because now you have the Bat family, like his Batman fits perfectly with what you're trying to do with the Brave and the Bold and kind of thing. You know, it'll fit perfectly with that. So.
But it brings that comparison with Snyder, right? And even though I think Snyder should be the one who does the Batman, but that does Batman.
Yeah.
Brave and Bold. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he should be the director, but
if not Snyder, Ben Affleck. Like
I'd love for Ben Affleck himself to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the great directors out there, man, guys. I mean, Ben Affleck is a better director than he's an actor.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's true.
Says keep your goofy Colonel Sanders face out of the Superman promotion.
Every commercial he has to announce it. I know you don't know this character because I'm going to bring this new character that you might not have heard of. The original Superman. We never heard of him. Come on, man.
Oh man,
it's off. I'll be if the Superman movie's not good. I just think about sometimes I'll be so upset.
Oh, it's game over, man. It's like scratch everything else. Like Supergirl will probably be coming out after that. It's done. Fucking let Matt Reeves do the Batman universe. Let somebody else come in and do a Superman thing. And if Superman is a complete trash pile of just garbage, DC's getting sold off for scraps at that point. Not sold off, but it's gonna be like there's gonna be no universe. There's gonna be no universe.
If you mess this up like this, I'll be so done.
Yeah. I'm not worried about that. Could be way too corny. Yeah. Superman's kind of corny. I mean, just the character himself is very.
I don't know if he's corny in a different way. Definition of corny.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's not gonna break into like a dance scene, like an Adam West Batman would. He's corny as in he's so good and so much of a stand-up guy kind of thing where he's like it's so unrealistic to be that perfect of a person and that empathetic of a person while still being the strongest being in existence kind of stuff. So
exactly.
Yeah. Even what they're doing in the new comic book run and making him gold Superman, I think that's super corny, but if it works for that character, yeah. But yeah, I love Superman, but he's not exactly the coolest person. Exactly. Exactly. I just saw a clip too yesterday of the Kill Bill at the end of Kill Bill, and he talks about alter egos and costumes and stuff like that, and he said why Superman is the best of all of them. He goes because he said the Flash, he has to wake up, or not the Flash, but he said I forgot, like the Batman, because he has to wake up and put on the costume. I forgot who else he said, but he goes he has to wake up and put on the costume. He goes everyone else has to choose to be the hero. Meanwhile, Superman, that's who he is. Clark Kent is his costume. Like he wakes up, he goes to bed, he breathes and sleeps being Superman. So that's like he's better than everyone else just by that alone. That was like, and if you've seen Kill Bill, it's at the very end of the second film. Right before shit happens. But yeah, it's a cool little speech that I forgot about. So I was like, man, it's definitely going to be corny. I think it's gonna be a little corny. I don't think it's gonna be like super corny.
Yeah, I think it'll.
They're gonna have corny parts that are really absurdly corny. But if he knocks the movie out, then whatever, I'll overlook the corniness.
Yeah. How corny would you say Guardians 3 was?
It was just the right amount. I think when I think of Guardians 3, I think of the emotional element of the movie, which took center stage, if we're being honest. I think the one that I kind of associated that they went the most goofy with was Volume 2, and that kind of worked with the narrative. You know, we were talking about Rocket's whole backstory and them saving Rocket. If you whittle the entirety of Guardians 3 down, it was them racing against time to save a family member, and that's what they focused on. What goofiness there was. It was on brand, but it was used to the right extent. They kind of dialed it back, and when they did use it, it felt appropriate. So I think Gunn knows when to use that, how much of that to use, and when not to. So that's why I'm not too worried about where he's going to go with Batman or Brave and the Bold or whatever it ends up being called.
I think there's some big flashing differences. Well, first, I'll say Guardians 3 is the third Guardians. So he's already done it. Like, he already set up this whole thing. So it's much easier to do. The second thing I would say is, once again, these are characters that no one cares about or knows about, or even the comic book when it's not those characters. So no one cares. There's not a person. You could go anywhere. I think it's even part of the movie. Anywhere and know who Superman is.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like not just a well-known character, the most well-known character of all. So you can't just write stuff. You can't just do stuff. But having James Gunn's back in this aspect is saying he has so many comic books that it doesn't matter what you do, he's probably done it.
Yeah. I mean, and if you go All-Star Superman, actually I just ordered it at the library because I want to reread it because it's been a while since I read it. I think
I have it over here.
So I'm gonna get I ordered the big graphic novel of all with 12 issues. But I remember even All-Star Superman being a little goofy at times, So it's right up there. But I was just bringing up like Guardians because I think Guardians was one of his better films, if not like his best film. But he was able to take the corny characters that he already set up, and attach a lot of feel to it, but still like the love story between Gamora and Star-Lord, that was kind of corny. Drax was always kind of corny. But even that paid off in a big thing.
Everything about Gamora was corny.
In the third one?
The third one, because it wasn't Gamora.
Yeah, it was different.
I mean, her having her pants down when she's being attacked. Everything about Gamora was corny.
Yeah.
Everyone walking off and she's like sitting there, I ain't going nowhere. I mean, come on, man. The entire thing about Gamora
was there. And then Peter's always the super corny, and then also has like the emotional kind of thing. But I think he can turn it off and on and kind of understand. Hopefully he's that enough self-aware, but or at least he has the people around him to tell him,
don't go full gun.
Oh, excuse me, man. I got all right, let's skip around a little bit. Sorry. Hey, Brian, you want to do it? I got to get some water or something. I'm like choking over here.
Like he's dying over there. So here you go. Hopefully we don't get a campy Batman. But is a campy Batman, you're going to have some campiness of it. It's just kind of how Brandman was talking about. We saw what he's done with a lot of those things. So that why would you hate campy Batman? There's going to be some campy aspects to it. Don't you agree?
Yeah. I think there will be. I think that I just think Gunn is competent enough to know when to use them and how much to use them and when not to. I'm not expecting like a full-on Batman and Robin scenario. I think that Gunn knows when to balance and how much to balance it with. I think he kind of understands, just kind of going by interviews. He understands what needs to be done. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm very much like let the man cook, and
but your creature commandos,
we'll go from there. And I think he's
campy.
They were. I think those characters, they kind of what's the word I'm looking, or what's the wording that I'm looking for? I think those characters kind of command a pretty good amount of camp. I think it's kind of different in the case of a character like Batman. So I don't think he's gonna I don't think he's gonna go completely off the rails in that regard and make Batman an idiot or a lunkhead.
Alan Richardson. Fat Bat.
Why does everyone get that man's last name wrong?
Because it's not Americans don't see it that way. We don't think of Richardson. Richardson. It's instead of Richardson. Kenny says, I used to watch Batman and Justice League Unlimited. The Batman cartoon with the dreadlock Joker was entertaining by both and never confused. I was entertained by both. And, yeah. I think normies would be. Yeah, I don't think he's doing it or saying that or having to worry for us comic book people. For regular people, yeah, I think they will be worried about it.
Yeah.
Mama says,
it's
I expect Clooney.
We'll get Brave and the Bold years before the Batman part 2, so I'm not worried.
Two different Batman might confuse the audience. I agree. It might. So Ben Affleck said absolutely not with working with Gunn. He says, I don't think it brings that comparison between the Robinsons are at least alive. She said he's very vanilla.
Yeah, he's Mr. Vanilla.
Let's see. Mama says, I remind you of Star-Lord dancing. Dance off, bro. It could happen. You go first. Oh, nope. I'll take it back. Superman, I feel, is heavily dependent on reviews. It needs to be to at least match the Batman in the box office.
Ooh, that'd be hard. That'd be super hard to match the Batman.
How much money did the Batman make?
Did he make $1 billion?
I don't know why.
Also, what's up, Horror Geek? It's been a while.
What's up, Horror Geek? Yeah.
I take it back. I only made 772.
That sounds right. Yeah, there you go. That sounds right.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought it made a lot more than that.
So I know it only made like 400 internationally. So
yeah,
that makes a lot more.
So, and that's what you're saying. Like it's probably going to be around that 700 mark.
Yep.
So 772 is a little high for this version of the Batman or Superman, I should say, but
that's what we hope for.
Mm.
If Superman doesn't make a Man of Steel numbers, they'll never live it down. If they make $700 million, they're good.
How much did Man of Steel? Man of Steel made 670.
Yeah. So they make 700, you're good.
Yeah.
So if Superman doesn't make it moved. Okay, that's why it moved.
Yeah.
Are we done with the secret identity in comic book movies?
I don't think so.
Well, if Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be any indication,
Mm-hmm. And also, like, go back to James Gunn did a podcast episode with Michael Rosenbaum, and this is right when he first got the job of the DC head of studio. He was talking about that. He goes, Marvel, you're able to, like, you know, they're just who they are, you know, and that's kind of the point of what Marvel was. He goes, but DC, you have the secret identities and you have these different things that you can, you know, work with, you know, that Marvel didn't have necessarily. So I think they're going to keep the secret identities, especially with somebody like Superman and somebody like Batman, that the secret identities are so ingrained in everyone's mind of Clark Kent, Superman, Bruce Wayne, Batman, you know, same thing, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, you know, you have those, you know, and those are probably what the 3 biggest comic book characters ever, you know.
Yeah, is there anyone bigger? Yeah, so
you know, so I think they're gonna keep the secret identities.
Same.
You want me,
yeah, you go ahead.
take over. Horde Geek said, if I even like this one on similar level to any of the Guardians film, that's a win in my book.
Okay.
You know,
All right, I'm up with that.
Yeah. Guardians Volume is my least favorite. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. Volume 3 is really, that's the least favorite of the 3. And that was good. So,
usually it's the second
was good. Okay. Usually it's the second one. I really like the second one, but the third one is my favorite. Yep. Maria said the poor animals in Guardians 3. I know. It was sad.
Floor.
I wasn't even thinking about them because that's just trauma. I was thinking about the ones like that are human like and are selling drugs to each other in like fucking alley and shit. Crazy. Superman is the holy grail of comic book characters. Yep.
He's it.
Yeah. Can too much crypto hurt Superman?
What type of crypto?
If he's the focus
you make kryptonite.
Yeah, no, crypto as in like the dog. You do too much of the dog, can that hurt Superman? And the answer to me is yes.
What type of crypto though? Are we talking bitcoins, stable coins, tokens, altcoins?
Yeah.
Talking about dog fetching.
Doge?
I'm just being a smart ass.
Doge. He said Doge.
But it can, because just from the trailers, crypto is going to be the comedy relief, you know, the corniness, you know, so you don't want to get too much with it. You can kind of forgive like when it's an animal because like it's adorable, it's cute, but it can't be like in every scene, you know, in every other scene, you know, you use it, you know, he picks him up. You know, he goes and visit him when he gets the shit beat out of him, when he has to go back home to his mama and pops, you know, and then when people break into the fortress, you know, so like home scenes, you know, I think are the best time, you know, but you see him fighting, you know, flying around fighting, right, in one of the trailers.
Yep.
But I don't know. We'll see.
All right, let's get the salmon thing going.
Yeah. Secret Identity cores. Yeah. The Terry whip Superman for 5 minutes. You're saying like, physically hurt him. That's funny. But that's very true. Like when I roll around, you know, in the yard with my dog and I don't pay attention for like a second, you know, and I turn around, he's like 2 feet in the air, ready to land on me. Like, it sucks. So, all right. I get this ready while Brian comes back. Oh man, I can see crypto becoming the next Rocket Raccoon.
Same.
That'd be interesting. Rocket was very, I mean, one, Rocket can talk and had a personality and stuff that like that made him relatable, you know. But Rocket in the comic books, I think, was somebody people liked a lot too. You know, Rocket was way more in the comic books. Like he always reminded me of like, all right, he take a raccoon and take Wolverine and put them together. It's like,
but who read that?
Yeah, it's not
nobody.
Yeah, like Star-Lord, I really didn't know too much about Star-Lord unless he was doing a crossover with like the X-Men or some shit. Rocket, once I found out about Rocket, I'm like, oh, he's a cool character, but he wasn't in a lot of things, Now he's fucking
Crypto. I feel like Crypto's in a lot more stuff than Rocket ever seen.
Yeah. Fucking Crypto had his own movie with the Rock and what's and the other dude,
Super Pets.
So yeah,
Kevin Hart and
Kevin Hart. Yeah. So it might be an interesting way to get to a super pet kind of thing. Not like that, but in that kind of sense, though. I want to see a Green Lantern squirrel. Like in the comic books. Little badass squirrel. That's the plan. Ace Gunn called them both kitty bait. Yeah. Get the animals, get the pets in. It always usually puts a smile on people's face. So we'll see if he does it right.
You want to get a beautiful woman? Get a puppy.
Yeah.
Works every time. Rent a puppy.
Rent a puppy. That should be a business right there. Like, just have a little dog farm. It's like we rent dog, like a wingman or dog wingman.
1-800 rent a pup.
Rent a pup.
You guys want to be millionaires? Let's do it.
That's funny. It saves all the dogs from the kennels, and you can get a girlfriend
immediately.
That's funny. All right, let's check out this Sandman 2 tricks. I haven't seen it. I didn't even know it was out. When I came into the studio, when I saw that down there, I was like, "Ooh,
yeah, I did."
I'm excited. All right, I got bulldogs. Bulldogs.
I'm pit bull guy. So.
Yeah, I like my pit. So my dog. You saw my dog, Brian. He's half pit, half Bichon. Fucking what? When I found that out, I was like, that poor Bichon.
I like Bichons. Our dog Blanca was a Bichon.
Yeah.
I've had everything from a Pomeranian to a pit bull, and now this beagle. So man.
Yeah.
And this stupid beagle, we're gonna have surgery. I go in for surgery on Wednesday. Like, oh my god,
poor guy.
Why am I spending you all this money on you? There's no doubt that I'm spending all the money on you because he's my best friend. I didn't even want him. I didn't even want that stupid dog. I knew I'm a dog person. So I was like, if you can give me this dog, and now everything in the world is going to be revolved around this damn dog. So,
having pets, I don't know if I showed it off. My cat is always on screen with me. That's his paw print, and then that's his box there. So,
Dude.
You
did an amazing job. I'm going to be a blubbery mess.
Oh, it sucked, man. It sucked. It was.
I wouldn't even be able, like, we're gonna be like a year away, a year down the line. I won't be like, nah, man. I don't be awful.
Yeah. It's like, and then like I always get because I have so many fucking pictures of the cat. I constantly, at least like a few times a week, get like, oh, here's a collage we made. It was like, fuck. I got like a 20 picture feature spotlight from Google Photos with just my cat. I was like,
in your coat with you, like, oh man, yeah, that little puppy. The kitty.
Yeah. I'm picturing Brian walking a Pomeranian.
Dude, I'm telling you. It's
like the Rock with his the Rock has what What is he? He is like little dogs. Oh, he has Frenchies, I think. He
For
has like 2
for
Frenchies.
girls. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're like his dogs now. They just like they follow him around.
They all become your dog.
Yeah, that's true. All the pets become your pet.
They're always the dad's pet, at the end of the day, because who's going to take care of them?
Yeah, that's true. All right. Sandman, shit, just finished first season. Ooh, you just finished it. Nice.
Hey, this comes out July 3rd.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
couple weeks.
July 3rd, I think it is. I think it's like right there. The 4th of July weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's check it out. No, maybe after that we might call it a night. All right. Let's go. All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. We have another trailer reaction for you guys. We're gonna check out the Sandman season 2 trailer. It comes out in a couple weeks. Has there been a trailer yet? I remember news, but
they had a teaser, but I don't know if they had a full trailer yet
with it. But yeah, season 1 was amazing. So it just takes 3 years to get season 2. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
But excuse me. Let's check it out and then talk about it.
It has begun.
Oh,
what happened?
I don't know. Just let me see if I can start it over.
It has begun. Dream is returning to hell.
Lord Morpheus comes to us in a futile attempt to free one he loves from our domain. Hell is anticipating his visit most avidly.
Nada loved you. She was right. It is wrong for us to get involved with them. You know that.
If I have committed a wrong, I must make it right.
When one of the Endless changes, that changes everything.
Prepare yourself, Dream. The end is coming.
Everyone loves a good story. But all stories come to an end.
Everyone here seems to not notice or care. The world is ending.
We did have some good times, didn't we? You cannot save yourself now.
The dreaming will survive. Even if I do not.
Yep, awesome. 2 parts. That's awesome, right?
Yeah. It's a thing now, right?
But it helps you digest one part and then enjoy the finale. Did you guys see Jack the Pumpkin King?
I did.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, Jack the Pumpkin King with a gun. Like what?
Well, he was in the first season.
Like, didn't I see him in Return to Oz?
Yeah, I think he was in the first season. I think that was Mark Hamill when he was in like the library.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think
Me too.
That is look cool though. Yeah. This whole it looks really good.
Yeah, really epic too. So
I feel like it's been a long time since we got the first season, and I like Netflix dropping a lot of stuff so you can binge a lot of it, but sometimes you lump it all together, and doing 2 different parts allows you to digest one part and then digest the finale, and sometimes that works, especially with Netflix type shows. You don't believe me? What's the series ending of Cobra Kai? How much better was it that you had a little time between each one and able to enjoy it, and it wasn't too much of a gap? It's not Invincible, giving you 6 months in between. Giving you 4 or 5 weeks. That works.
Yeah. And not only like it allows you to talk to other fans. Like we're able to come on here, other YouTubers, other people that are able to come on and talk about it and enjoy it. I'm like, oh man, this was awesome. And then sit in that enjoyment, and then boom, and then now the finale comes, So like if we can't get a week to week release, this is probably the next best thing, I think. It doesn't
even if you don't have people, right? You get more people. Because if they like the first half, they'll tell everybody, hey, you have to go see this thing. And now you have new people coming to see the second part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'm excited. It looks good.
Same.
Yeah.
Definitely excited for this.
Yeah.
Probably going to go rewatch season 1 just as a refresher.
Yep. Same. Season 1 got me through my first kid. We just brought him home, and obviously, babies don't sleep. So we stayed up for like the first week and watched, Sandman was one of the few shows. So we just binged the entire season in like 2 nights. So
I mean, what's gonna do? I mean, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. But it was so good, so yeah, I'm super psyched for this one. Yeah. Oh man, you guys got anything else?
No, I'm just excited for it. I mean, Sandman season 1 was amazing. It was so dark and so different than I expected it. So I'm excited to see what they do with this and the characters they visit, and the ones that you kind of know, but you're going to know a lot more by the end of the season. I can't wait.
Yep. So we got the July 3rd. So you got the nice long 4th of July weekend to watch however many episodes they give us. And then, and then what, 3 weeks later, we get the
3 weeks later.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be good.
I agree. I think it's going to be great. And I can't wait to see it.
Yep. So, but yeah, that's our thoughts for the Sandman 2 trailer. We're for sure breaking it down when it comes out, that hopefully that by that Monday after the July 7th, we'll probably talk about the first half of the volume 1 of
Did you
season 2.
say it?
Yeah. It's gonna be us like the whole weekend. But yeah, we want to hear from you guys. So leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about the Sandman season 2 trailer. Did you watch the first season? Are you hyped for this one? Let us know what you think. And make sure you guys come and subscribe to the channel and hit that like button down below. It helps us out a bunch. And anybody who is watching us in the live chat right now, we want you guys to stick around because we're going to get into your comments. That there. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm talking about the pairs half pit and half lab, all lapdog. Yeah, where she is right now. Nice. I had to put some pictures of Max away because those times it's getting hard. Yeah, but I miss him so much. Yeah,
I hate Facebook showing the like all these memories. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I'm the same way. I used to take a lot of pictures and videos of Blanca, and I still miss my little girl. It's been almost 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn, man. All the pets. I'm just remember all the pets I went through in my life. Like three dogs, and I got number 4, which this is technically my dog. Everyone was like, living with my parents. See, 2 cats. My first cat had a bunch of kittens. So we had to give all those away, which sucked. 2 ferrets, which I didn't even fucking want the ferrets. I was stuck with them. So yeah, I had a lot of pet death. a lot of that. So it doesn't get easy either.
I've had 3 dogs, and I've had them all for longer than 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when you lose someone who's been around you for that long, there's no consoling. There's no nothing. There's some places where I'd rather have the dog than the human beings around them.
Yeah. Yeah. And the crazy thing, so like me and Brian, we were like we were talking online a lot last night, and fucking until like 2:00. There was at one point, I don't know if you noticed, but I had taken off my headphones because I swear to God I heard a meow. Swear to God.
I did. You went,
and I'm like, because I was freaked the fuck out. I was freaked out. So I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I'm trying to figure out, was it the radiator? It might be the radiator that's right there, or not the radiator, the furnace. I don't know. But yeah. Oh man. But yeah, it's rough. Netflix said no. Like, you ain't watching it. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. It just the thing was still going, but no audio, no video was weird. Kane said, I enjoyed the first season. First season was
too. It was
awesome.
So good.
Yeah. He said, yeah, I'm gonna be traveling, so that's gonna make it for a great car ride watching an iPad.
Exactly. You'll be traveling, you'll be able to watch those first 6 or 7 episodes.
Yeah, something like that.
Just enjoy it. Take it and run with it.
Yeah. And I have to admit, what's her name? Was it Gwyneth Christie, I think was her name? Her as Lucifer is so good. She does it really, really well. It's a really interesting version of Lucifer, so but it's very because she has the blonde hair and is tall and stuff like that, so it's being the fallen angel type of thing is really interesting. And then hell is just being this like hell, just being out there is just all these demons and stuff, and then meanwhile she's living in this tower. I would put her probably as the second best iteration I've seen on camera. Constantine, number 1.
Yeah,
hands down.
Yeah, really like that version.
It's Al Pacino.
He was a good one.
Devil's Advocate, that was great.
He's a really good one. He was a really good one. But her I like a lot. She go. Yeah. Lucifo was a great casting. Yeah. She's a great actor. So it's wild. She's on Game of Thrones, and then she's on Severance. This last season, and then she's in Sandman. She was in Star Wars. Which was such a waste of a character.
It's not going to Star Wars. We get down that rabbit hole, and we'll be on here for another 3 hours.
Yeah, I was you shouldn't even be allowed to sell Captain Phantasm, or Captain Phasm, whatever the fuck her name was. You shouldn't even be able to sell those toys. You fucking did her bogus. I guess. Yeah, but I don't know. You guys got anything else?
Nope. No. I was already tired today, so yeah, no.
Yeah. Who's the person in red? In the trailer? Oh, excuse me. Oh, in Red, the movie Red? Was that another Netflix movie?
No, Red with Bruce Willis.
It was Red Notice, but that's something different. I'm thinking.
I was just Red. Retired and
No. In the first season, the dude.
Oh.
Who's the person in Red? No, the first season, the dude.
Are you talking about? Give me that same scene. Him? The one with the mouths for eyes.
Yeah, the one with mouth with for eyes. There you talking about?
Yeah,
Him. Because what was he was an underling of Dream, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then he wound up betraying.
He was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's somebody else. Yeah, I can't remember anybody else in like Red. Desire. Oh, Desire.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of his like siblings or something like that.
Yep.
Because there's Desire, and then what's the other half of Desire? Because it was Desire, then there was the other one that was like all timid and stuff, but they like fed off of each other. But it's basically just another, because I didn't read too much of Sandman, but they're all like different, like not emotions, but like beings, like like godly beings kind of thing.
These supernatural beings that kind of make sense.
Yeah. They like feed off your things. So like Dream obviously is the Sandman. Obviously it helps you go to sleep. Desire, it does that. But I think at the end of Sandman wasn't Desire, it looks like they were gonna betray Dream, or wanted to get rid of Dream.
Yep. I
it was something like that. Yeah. On Despair. It was Desire and Despair. Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier too, so yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. Yeah. I was expecting so much more from that character though. I think this season you're probably gonna get a lot from Desire and Despair. They're like I remember calling like they're family, like they're siblings.
Yeah, it's like his cousins or something to that effect.
Something like that, yeah. Because there's other ones.
Or niece and nephew.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, so yeah, Death was one. She was one of their, and then Desire, Despair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Death one was super cool. Like I enjoyed that story of it from season 1.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right, you guys got anything else?
I am good.
Pretty excited for it now that I've finally seen the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're all like siblings or something like that. Yeah. Because I would have to watch it because it's been 3 years since I watched it. So I definitely want to watch it again. I don't have too much Sandman stuff.
I have the first season, that's it.
Of it.
I have maybe 4 comic books.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought I had a couple. I had a few that have like cool covers, but that's it. But Neil Gaiman, when it comes to like his work, he's so good. He's so good. I mean, now he's starting to find out about his personal life, and he's not a good person. But work-wise, his content, his stuff that he creates is
A1.
Oh my god, man. What was the other one? American Gods. I'm
American Gods was awesome.
So pissed
Yeah,
it didn't have a proper ending.
Yep.
Yeah. Good Omens. That show's fucking
Good
awesome.
Omens is so good.
Good Omens is really good. Underrated.
Yeah. He wrote Coraline, which I love Coraline, the movie. But he wrote the original book of Coraline. Yeah. Yeah, he's done a lot of like awesome stuff. But cool. And yeah, let's get out of here.
Appreciate you guys, but yeah, I'm gonna be Brandman and be sleeping a second, or fold clothes, You know we used to fold clothes. You got more subscribers for him folding clothes than you got for everything else.
showing off the undies. Oh man, I forgot about that. But yeah, let's get out of here. We appreciate you guys. We will see you on Saturday. Hopefully we'll talk Ilio and in a few trailers and stuff like that. On Saturday.
I'll have
go ahead. Murderbot.
Yes.
So yeah, we broke down episode 1 through 6. Well, not really break down, we just talked about it, did a recap. So I think we're gonna try to do each episode because they release on Fridays. So Saturday we'll talk about the episode that just got released. So Brandman, you gotta catch up, man. It's awesome. You can knock it out in one night, man. Honestly,
easy.
Yeah.
We 3 episodes, a half an hour each, less than a half an hour each, really.
20 minutes each.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, probably be my tomorrow after work.
Yeah, and I think once you start watching it, you're gonna get hooked, and I think you're just gonna fly through it. But yeah, so yeah, Saturday we'll talk Ilio, we'll talk Murderbot. So if you haven't watched Murderbot, go watch it. It's a lot of fun. It's dark, it's funny, it's sci-fi,
but it's also smart. It's very smart,
very well done.
Yeah.
Great acting. Yeah. So yep. So we'll do that on. He's like, F this. I'm out. But yeah, let's get out of here. We appreciate all you guys. We will see you guys on Saturday. Miss Laundry Nights.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
All right. Later. Over. There you go.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.